Guys, welcome back to the Independent Investor Channel. 2 styles of investing worth talking about. This is going to make your life so much easier if you're looking to get involved in investing. I'm going to roll this video out to you and I'm going to declare how I seek my allocation to the stock market, whether it be on the active side of the house or the passive side of the house. You guys are going to find that I try to equally deploy both strategies in the stock market, and you guys are going to be better off sitting back enjoying a tutorial on how I seek my exposure. I'm going to do a round robin tour of my accounts and explain which one belong in each of the categories. And at the end of the video, I'm going to give you a total amount of passive investments and a total amount of active investments. So please stand by. I'm going to drop you into the accounts now and we'll begin the review. All right, so this is the thrift savings plan. This is like your 401k, 403, basically employer sponsored. And just brought you guys in here to show you the makeup of this account real quick. This is just an exploratory of all my accounts. We're starting off with the TSP because this is the preliminary baseline of my overall perspective about how I seek my allocation to the stock market. You see here at the bottom, 37,678. So that total right there is what I've got and built up in this. 10% of my income is contributed to this, but this goes to and adds to the passive base that I actually have in my total overall portfolio. So 37,678, and we're going to add these up as we go, and we're going to do a complete total at the end, and we're going to skip to the next account. I do these portfolio reviews individually, but this is actually how I seek my exposure to the market. This is in the taxable brokerage account. This is all active. This is all comprised right now of 12 single stock dividend paying holdings, totaling 53,148 in stock and equity. And I just made this screen just enough so you can tell here this 45,629 is actually in cash. So that total amount is actually 49,000 in cash. So about a 50-50 split in the broker. So 50% will go into the passive category. I'm putting cash in the passive category, and then I'm putting equities, of course, as appropriate in the active categories. So with that, we'll jump to the next account. So we've jumped into Roth IRA account number 2. This is a self-directed Roth IRA account. Starting at the top here, we've got just a little over 5,000 in cash in this account. And as we scroll down, we want to cherry pick the one passive asset out of here, which gives this account some European exposure. I will say that the one speculation play in here is Tortoise Acquisition, soon to be Hyliion. That is a speculation play that will reach my target. When it does, those contributions will be rolled into either a passive perspective or beef up on some of the dividend holdings in the portfolio. So around 100,000, just a little over 101,000 in active in this account. So mostly dividend paying stocks in this account, and then the 5,000 and this one ETF will go into the total overall amount for the passive amount that we're looking to disclose. And this is the self-directed Roth IRA account number 1. This is pretty much fully invested, but has a significant amount more in the passive aspect of this portfolio. This is a pretty good mix here. So we just have 135 of cash. Like I said, basically 99% invested in this particular Roth IRA account. Around 102,000 of total equities and ETF exposure in here. But the active exposure in single stock is $65,480. And then the passive ETFs in this account that are comprised of the VBR, VNQ, VPU, VYM, and VYMI Those 5 totaling a passive total of 37,169. So we'll continue on with the round robin account exploratory. And we continue on here with the exploratory on the portfolio that I have. This is one additional brokerage account, one of 2 that I have with M1 Finance. You guys know when I roll these out individually, I do more of a deep dive on the actual holdings within the portfolio, but for the sake of declaring the difference between passive and active investments, it's super important for you to kind of understand how I've strategically allocated my money. And this Sector Spider ETF is completely 100% passive in nature, as I've got these allocated to the specialty ETFs in each of the sectors. You guys can tune in to more of those videos as I do a little bit more deeper dive. But $10,550 in this Sector Spider ETF portfolio, completely passive, completely dollar cost average. I do not sell or buy actively in this account at all. It's just sleep easy money. I fund it and I mostly ignore it. And this right here, this will round out the exploration of all my accounts with the idea of determining where I seek out my allocation. I've split this video to declare to you guys what we're looking at on the passive side of the house and on the active side of the house. This portfolio here is definitely on the active side of the house. I do more detailed reviews on these videos individually, where I chronicle the holdings within the account. So you can kind of see here just a snapshot of what's held in here. Individual stocks would fall into the active category. 11,352 will go to that total overall summary in the active category. All right, so with that, guys, that concludes the summary of all the accounts. We'll kick it back to YouTube and we'll conclude the video. All right, guys, welcome back out of the accounts. I really hope you enjoyed this exploration of how I seek out my exposure to the stock market. You're going to want to tune into my individual account videos where I go into a little bit more in depth on the specifics of the holdings, and you'll want to pay particular attention to how much actual dollar amounts I put to each one of the strategic accounts. Okay, that's a key in understanding how I seek out my exposure. But the way the numbers shake out here, we're looking at about $163,000 of passive exposure to the market. Now, that's notwithstanding about a $50,000 bill of cash that I'm holding right now, compared to the active side of the house, which we're looking at about $230,000, about $231,000 of active profile. If you take the aggressive speculative position in Hyliion company, which is around 30 grand, we're looking at about 204,370 on the active side of the house. So you can see there where I'm always trying to get that good mix of both. I do believe in both strategies. And for you guys that are tuning into my message, I really want you to understand that I seek cash. I seek passive investment opportunity. I seek speculation. I seek swing trading. And finally, I seek dividend investment, dividend growth strategy. So I'm trying to exploit all the different avenues that the stock market provides to me, and collectively they make a very, very strong portfolio. Guys, if you enjoy what you're hearing through in the message, you want to make sure and subscribe to the message. Leave your comments at the bottom of this video. Let me know what your strategy is. It'll help if we can strike up a discussion about how new investors can look at what their options are and be more informed of an investor before they start themselves on a path toward personal empowerment and wealth building in the stock market. You want to make sure and hit the notification bell. You want to hit the, want to share this message with anybody out there that you know needs introductory information to the stock market. Bring them on. I'd love to have them in the community for sure. Guys, thank you so much for tuning into this message, and good luck in your investment future.